Hi, I'm Manveen Rana here in Davos, and I'm joined by Ralph from Microsoft and Matthias from BCG. Thank you both for being here.
Thanks for the invite.
Great to be here.
I wanted to talk to you about AI. It's so much has changed, and there's been so much innovation over just the last year. I'd love to know how you both think this is already playing out in terms of people, economies, and the planet. So, Ralph, your thoughts first.
Yeah, thanks for the question. I mean, we had the first show off of ChatGPT in our product literally a year ago in Davos in some small cameras, and then we did some work. The last 12 months have been really meaningful to go along these lines where you say, I think we have seen and understand what's possible for people. We have seen actually now the first real impact on what we think it can do on helping climate and help the planet, but also in places where we see crisis in an economy coming forward. We see AI in many ways being a way to open chapters and attack and solve problems in that space. So a massive change in the last 12 months of what we see today being seen forward going to happen with AI.
Matthias, for you.
Yeah, I can only echo that. I maybe doubling down on planet and on people. I think planet is going to be real. In a recent study we did, we found that about 5 to 10% of greenhouse gas emissions could be reduced by the use of GenAI by 2030, which is amazing and shows the real potential of the technology. And people similarly, I think people is going to be both the major unlock for the technology, but it's also going to be a major issue to work on. We always used to say AI or deploying GenAI is about 10, 20, 70. So it's 10% the algorithm, 20% the tech, and 70% the people aspect. So people really play a crucial role in many dimensions.
Well, Matthias has brought up people. Ralph, for you, you work across Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. What sort of impact are you already seeing on today's workforce?
I mean, we actually, to support and understand better the impact, we did a study on the impact index on productivity. And so the data tells us right now, even on the basis of having now more than 1 million people using Copilot as an example, that we see slightly more than 70% productivity on people's work. But I think the more interesting KPI is that more than 60% actually feel the quality of work is coming forward. So when you see us going, we talk about Copilot. And that's the spirit of what we do, enabling people to do their job in a different way, in a more productive way, but also find new ways to do jobs differently and with more fun and more efficiency. Ourselves, we had put that technology forward now in our services. So you have seen 31% more productivity on services, but you have also seen 27% more quality of customer engagement. So there's very people-oriented outcomes we see right now in the way we roll it out and the way people use Copilot technology, and we are excited on that specific data points.
Yeah, it sounds like this is going very much the future. Matthias, how much are you already seeing companies across the regions that you're covering? How much are they already benefiting? What are the real sort of opportunities for them and the exciting developments for them coming from the adoption of AI into the way they work?
So we see a lot of that. In a recent survey amongst 1,400 executives, 87% had GenAI as one of their top 3 priorities for 24. So this answers your first question, right? This is top of mind, clearly. Now, what are they doing with this? We would distinguish 3 big streams of actions. The first one is deploy. That is it's literally across the board to the organization. It's your everyday function, right? That's the sweet spot of Copilot. And there you can gain 5 to 10% productivity gains very easily. So that's the first one. The second one is all about reshaping. That's for the more business critical processes on the sales side, on the marketing side, depends a bit on the company you're in. There, the gains are higher. They're up to 20 to 30% because you also tap into the effectiveness part, not just the efficiency part, but also into the effectiveness part of the technology potential. And lastly, then, it's of course also about reinventing. There is entirely new business models that can be built on this technology. And that's of course also where the potentials are the highest. So leaders in the field, they do all 3 of them. They deploy it, they use it to reshape processes, and they reinvent business models.
Ralph, are you seeing the same?
Look, I mean, data, as it says, IDC is giving us 25% more increase of productivity on using technology. For me, the exciting part is that we now see by industry specific use cases coming forward. So if I take financial industries as an example, very excited on customer engagements, or everything which is sales, everything which is customer engagement, everything which is customer support. It's just such a simple, straightforward, meaningful case they have, which is mind blowing to see how the uptake is. You take now the next wave, what is coming the last month, I would say, marketing. So the demand of reshaping marketing campaigns, the speed you have through technology, individualizing marketing and customer reach is so different. Now, material science, just us seeing recently coming forward where we tested the technology to bring out a new way of batteries, and we saved 70% of critical earth in batteries by just applying material science AI capabilities,
wow.
which is kind of incredible to just see the example going forward. And lastly, I think what we see is companies really being now able to unleash the full information of a company on their assets. And so what we do by that one, we see something which we called Copilot Studios. We're building access to simple chat mechanics to all information of a company across the organization. So when you do an RFP today, you can actually get access to existing. When you go and do pricing, you can access to existing pricing, and then you don't have the whole data research work to be done because it comes through a questioning methodology to your hands. And that is really reshaping what we see right now. And it is cross industries, which with specific industry examples, just makes a huge difference.
So interesting hearing about some of those partnerships with industry. Give us a sense of the sort of momentum you're seeing behind generative AI, and also sort of for Microsoft, what is your go-to-market strategy on this?
Look, the demand on Modern Work Copilot we had over the last weeks is just ask us to reshape how we think what is possible. Yeah. So that's exciting. But the real data point for us is we have more than 11,000 customers right now are using Azure OpenAI. That was the single biggest uptake we ever had on any product across the company history at any time. So this signal is also kind of bringing us in these very unique situations where we need like BCG as a partner to help us go through and really scale actually what we can do, because we don't have capacity and we don't have expertise in all industries and all scenarios. And the demand is there, and now it's on us in these partnerships just to be very pointed, very targeted, and bring it effectively to customers what they can use with technology.
Well, Ralf, Matthias, thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
I'm Manveen Rana.